I want to thank the chairman of the National Turkey Federation, Dr. Douglas, as well as farmer Joe Hedden, who
In an unfolding story that has captured both curiosity and admiration, Sasha Obama, the youngest daughter of former President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama, is living a life in 2025 that challenges preconceived notions about what it means to grow up in the public eye. What viewers may remember her as the poised young girl who spent her formative years in the historic halls of the White House, but today reports suggest she has transformed into a fiercely independent woman, navigating the bustling, competitive, and often scrutinizing landscape of Los Angeles with a blend of grace, privacy, and subtle flair. What makes this evolution so compelling is not simply the fact that she is the daughter of one of the most recognizable couples in modern political history, but rather how she has chosen to craft a personal identity that thrives away from the constant gaze of cameras and headlines. In a city known for its relentless pace and celebrity-driven culture, Sasha stands out not for chasing fame, but for curating a lifestyle that merges understated luxury with genuine personal fulfillment. She is said to have surrounded herself with a close circle of trusted friends, avoided the lure of oversharing on social media, and maintained a low profile despite having access to spaces and opportunities most could only imagine. Yet beneath this seemingly calm surface lies a life filled with details that both intrigue and surprise. Her taste in home design, her selective public appearances, her unexpected hobbies, and her growing professional ambitions all paint a portrait of someone who is not merely living off a family legacy, but is actively redefining it. As we take a closer look into her world, from the architecture of her Los Angeles residence to the dynamics of her personal relationships, and from her disciplined wellness routine to her cautious yet ambitious career explorations, it becomes evident that Sasha Obama's story is not just one of privilege, but of intentionality, resilience, and a quiet confidence that commands attention without demanding it. And while the public may think they already know the narrative, the reality is that the Sasha of today is not the girl who left the White House. It's the woman who has stepped out into the world with her own direction, her own vision, and perhaps more than a few surprises still in store. From the earliest days of her life, Sasha Obama has been a subject of public fascination, born into a moment in history when her father, Barack Obama, would become the 44th President of the United States and the first African American to hold the office. Born Natasha Marion Obama in 2001, she entered the political spotlight at just 7 years old, moving into the White House alongside her sister Malia and her mother Michelle. For 8 years, she grew up under the unrelenting attention of the global press, yet managed to project a natural composure rare for someone so young. This early exposure to high-level politics and public service shaped her public image, but not in the way many might expect. Rather than chasing the fame that came with her position, she seemed to shy away from the limelight, allowing the carefully managed public narrative to focus on her education, family moments, and occasional official appearances. As years passed and the Obama family transitioned out of the White House in 2017, Sasha began quietly carving her own path, deliberately avoiding the overexposure common to children of public figures in the social media age. Reports suggest that while she maintained a relatively low profile, she also cultivated a reputation for poise, groundedness, and a sense of maturity that belied her years. Her style evolved into a mix of youthful modernity and understated elegance, drawing praise from fashion observers while avoiding the flashiness often associated with young celebrities in Los Angeles. This balance between accessibility and mystery has made her one of the more intriguing young public figures of her generation, someone recognizable to millions, yet still largely unknown on a personal level. Today, Sasha's public image blends the legacy of her family name with the impression of a young woman intent on building her own identity. Friends and acquaintances describe her as confident yet private, with a strong sense of self that has only deepened as she has transitioned into adulthood. In a media environment where every move can be scrutinized, Sasha has demonstrated an uncommon ability to control her narrative, sharing only what she chooses, and ensuring that when she does make a public impression, it's both deliberate and lasting. This combination of heritage, composure, and self-direction forms the foundation of the Sasha Obama the world sees in 2025, an image carefully balanced between the respect owed to her family legacy and the individuality she has worked to claim as her own. Settling into Los Angeles, Sasha Obama has embraced a lifestyle that blends the city's vibrant cultural pulse with a level of privacy and serenity that few can maintain in such a high-profile environment. Reports indicate that her residence is located in one of LA's most exclusive neighborhoods, a place known for its secure gated streets, lush landscaping, and a sense of seclusion that shields residents from the constant hum of paparazzi lenses. The home itself reflects a refined balance between modern elegance and functional comfort, featuring airy open-plan layouts, floor-to-ceiling windows that flood the rooms with natural light, and a design palette that favors soft neutrals and organic textures over anything ostentatious. Inside, contemporary art pieces and curated furnishings suggest a taste for quality over quantity, with each space serving a clear purpose, whether it's a cozy reading nook bathed in sunlight or an expansive living area perfect for hosting intimate gatherings. Outdoors, the property boasts meticulously maintained gardens, private terraces, and recreational areas that double as spaces for relaxation and low-key socializing. Sources close to her lifestyle say that Sasha values the ability to entertain in a way that feels personal rather than performative, preferring evenings with close friends over crowded Hollywood parties. Her choice of neighborhood also positions her within easy reach of Los Angeles' most dynamic cultural and entertainment districts, giving her the flexibility to attend events, explore art galleries, or enjoy the city's diverse culinary scene without sacrificing the comfort of returning to a quiet, secure home. What makes this living arrangement particularly telling is how it encapsulates her broader approach to life. She seeks connection without chaos, visibility without overexposure, and a space that reflects her growing independence while still offering the grounding comfort of a true sanctuary. In a city where so many seek to be seen, Sasha has mastered the art of being present without being consumed by the spotlight, and her Los Angeles home serves as both a literal and symbolic foundation for that balance, a place where she can live fully on her own terms while staying just out of reach of the public's constant gaze. In the realm of her personal life, Sasha Obama's relationship with Clifton Powell Jr. has become one of the most quietly intriguing aspects of her story, not because it dominates headlines, but because of how deliberately it avoids them. Clifton, the son of acclaimed actor Clifton Powell, has his own accomplishments in creative and entrepreneurial fields, making him more than just a footnote in Sasha's biography. Reports suggest their connection is grounded in shared values, mutual respect, and a natural chemistry that doesn't require constant public validation. Unlike the high-visibility couples often seen in Los Angeles, where every date night is a photo opportunity, their public appearances together are rare and understated, often catching attention precisely because of their rarity. Friends close to the couple say they are equally committed to supporting each other's individual pursuits while nurturing a partnership that thrives away from the relentless glare of social media. In an era where relationships can be built and broken in full view of millions, Sasha and Clifton seem intent on proving that a healthy bond can exist without the constant need for an audience. This discretion is not an act of hiding, but rather an intentional choice, reflecting a shared understanding that privacy is a form of protection, especially for two individuals who have grown up with varying degrees of public exposure. When they do step out together, whether for a quiet dinner or a special event, observers note their ease and authenticity, traits that suggest the relationship is less about public image and more about genuine companionship. Their dynamic also challenges stereotypes about young, high-profile couples in Los Angeles, showing that it's possible to cultivate intimacy and stability even in one of the most image-driven cities in the world. For Sasha, this relationship appears to be another example of her ability to balance personal fulfillment with the boundaries needed to maintain her mental and emotional well-being. And for the public, it serves as a reminder that some of the most compelling love stories are not the ones splashed across magazine covers, but the ones quietly unfolding in the spaces just beyond the spotlight's reach. While much of Sasha Obama's life remains intentionally shielded from the public eye, the glimpses that do emerge reveal a woman with a surprisingly balanced set of interests, one foot firmly in the realm of physical vitality and the other in quiet, artistic expression. Fitness has become an anchor in her daily routine, not in the fleeting trend-chasing sense of chasing the newest workout fad, but as a consistent commitment to personal wellness and mental clarity. Reports suggest that her regimen includes yoga sessions that emphasize flexibility and mindfulness, regular runs that allow her to reset her mind, and strength training to build physical resilience. This dedication to movement and health mirrors a larger generational shift toward holistic self-care, where the goal is not just looking good but feeling strong and centered in a fast-paced world. Yet what makes Sasha's personal life particularly intriguing is how she offsets that physical discipline with a deeply creative pursuit: crochet. At first glance, the image of the daughter of a former president engaged in the slow, intricate work of weaving yarn into patterns may seem unexpected, but it's precisely this contrast that adds depth to her persona. Crochet demands patience, focus, and a certain willingness to embrace stillness, all qualities that serve as a counterbalance to the public's perception of her as a figure constantly in motion or surrounded by high-energy social settings. Insiders say she often uses this craft as a meditative escape, a way to disconnect from the digital noise and immerse herself in a tactile, calming process. Finished pieces, whether gifted to friends or kept for herself, carry not just the mark of her skill, but the imprint of time spent in quiet reflection. Together, these hobbies, one rooted in active movement and the other in mindful stillness, form a complete picture of a young woman who understands the importance of balance, both in lifestyle and in identity. In an age where public figures often feel pressured to constantly project a certain image, Sasha's embrace of such contrasting passions shows a confidence in being multidimensional, unafraid to mix the disciplined with the delicate, the energetic with the serene. It's a reminder that behind the carefully composed photographs and the occasional public appearances lies a real complex person, one who finds joy in both the rush of a morning workout and the slow, deliberate rhythm of a crochet hook moving through yarn. Sasha Obama's educational journey is as much a reflection of her personal ambition as it is of the values instilled in her by a family that has long championed the importance of learning, critical thinking, and civic responsibility. After completing her secondary education under the watchful eyes of a public still fascinated by the lives of the former First Family, Sasha pursued higher studies at a prestigious university, a move that was both expected given her background and yet deeply personal in its execution. Reports indicate that her choice of academic focus was driven not by external pressure to follow in her parents' footsteps, but by a genuine interest in subjects that aligned with her passions and long-term aspirations. While she kept much of her campus life private, glimpses from classmates and faculty suggest that she immersed herself fully in her studies while also participating in extracurricular activities that expanded her leadership skills and broadened her social and cultural awareness. Whether through involvement in student organizations, collaborative projects, or causes related to social justice, Sasha used her time at university not just to accumulate credits, but to shape herself into a more well-rounded individual. Outside the classroom, she sought opportunities to engage in cultural exchanges, travel, and experiences that would deepen her understanding of the world beyond the insulated bubble of politics and celebrity. This deliberate pursuit of growth reflects a young woman acutely aware that true influence comes not from name recognition alone, but from the depth of one's perspective and the breadth of one's capabilities. Sources close to her say that these years were transformative, helping her develop a strong sense of independence, sharpen her decision-making skills, and strengthen her confidence in charting her own course, qualities essential for someone seeking to define herself outside of the powerful shadow of a globally recognized family. Even as she moves forward into the next chapters of her life, the foundation built through her education continues to influence her choices, guiding her toward endeavors that combine intellectual challenge with personal meaning. In a culture often obsessed with instant success, Sasha's approach to her education stands out as methodical, intentional, and deeply rooted in a belief that personal growth is not a byproduct of fame, but the result of sustained effort, curiosity, and the willingness to engage with the world in all its complexity. Over the years, Sasha Obama has undergone a noticeable physical transformation, but unlike the fleeting, appearance-driven narratives often assigned to young public figures, hers is rooted in discipline, sustainability, and a focus on holistic well-being rather than superficial change. Observers and sources close to her lifestyle report that her approach to fitness is both deliberate and balanced, incorporating a variety of training methods designed to strengthen the body, clear the mind, and maintain long-term health. Her regimen blends cardiovascular exercises like running and interval training with strength-focused workouts that build endurance and muscle tone, complemented by regular yoga sessions that enhance flexibility, posture, and mental clarity. This integration of different practices not only keeps her routine dynamic, but also reflects a deeper understanding of the connection between physical activity and emotional resilience, a connection that becomes especially important for someone navigating the pressures of public life. Nutrition plays an equally critical role in her transformation. Meals are said to focus on wholesome, nutrient-rich ingredients that provide sustained energy, with a balance of lean proteins, fresh vegetables, and whole grains. Unlike fad diets or extreme regimens, her approach appears centered on moderation and fueling her active schedule rather than adhering to restrictive rules. The results are visible, not only in her physical appearance but also in the confidence and vitality she projects in the rare moments she appears publicly. More importantly, this transformation has had an internal impact, giving her tools to manage the stresses that inevitably come with being a figure of public curiosity. By prioritizing sustainability over quick results, Sasha has cultivated a fitness lifestyle that fits seamlessly into her daily life rather than dominating it, a testament to her commitment to living with intention and balance. In a world that often pressures women, especially women in the public eye, to conform to unrealistic body standards, her method offers a quiet yet powerful statement. Health is about strength, endurance, and mental well-being just as much as it is about aesthetics. As Sasha continues to evolve personally and professionally, her dedication to this regimen underscores a larger truth about her character. She is building herself, inside and out, for the life she envisions, not the one others others expect her to live. Sasha Obama's financial position in 2025 is the product of both inherited privilege and her own emerging ambitions, a combination that places her in a unique position among her peers. While her status as the daughter of a former U.S. president ensures a level of economic security few could ever imagine, reports suggest that Sasha has shown a deliberate unwillingness to rely solely on the safety net provided by her family's legacy. Instead, she is said to be exploring a variety of career paths that not only align with her personal interests but also allow her to build a distinct professional identity. Potential avenues include roles in media production, fashion, philanthropy, and even creative entrepreneurship, with some insiders noting her interest in projects that blend artistic expression with social impact. These pursuits have reportedly taken the form of internships, collaborative creative ventures, and behind-the-scenes work that allows her to gain hands-on experience without drawing unnecessary public attention. This calculated approach to professional development mirrors her broader life philosophy, balancing ambition with privacy and experimentation with a clear long-term vision. Financial analysts familiar with high-profile families point out that this kind of cautious, incremental career building often leads to more sustainable success than early high-risk ventures, and Sasha's trajectory appears to follow that model. While her exact net worth is a matter of speculation, estimates consider both her potential personal earnings and the influence of trust funds or investments tied to her family's wealth, placing her comfortably in the upper tier of young professionals in her generation. Yet, what stands out most is not the number attached to her assets, but her apparent desire to grow them through meaningful work rather than passive inheritance. By combining the resources at her disposal with a willingness to earn her place in competitive industries, Sasha is positioning herself as more than just the beneficiary of a historic last name. She is becoming an independent force in her own right. This focus on self-sufficiency, while still respecting the privileges she was born into, suggests that her career story is still in its early chapters, with the potential for her influence to extend well beyond the symbolic weight of the Obama name. Navigating the delicate intersection between public recognition and personal boundaries has been one of the most defining challenges of Sasha Obama's young adult life, and by all accounts, she has approached it with a level of maturity that far exceeds her years. From the moment she was introduced to the world as a child in the White House, Sasha's every move had the potential to attract attention, and the lessons learned in that uniquely high-pressure environment seem to have shaped the measured way she manages her visibility today. Reports indicate that she has cultivated a deliberate media strategy, one that blends selective engagement with near-total control over what is shared publicly. Unlike many young adults who document their lives in real time for public consumption, Sasha maintains a minimal social media presence, often opting for private accounts or restricting access to her personal updates to a trusted inner circle. Public appearances are infrequent and carefully chosen, often tied to significant family milestones, charitable events, or moments where her presence adds value without feeling performative. Friends and insiders describe her as deeply protective of her personal life, a stance that extends to her romantic relationships, friendships, and even her day-to-day activities. This approach is not about hiding from the world, but about living in it on her own terms, maintaining the mental and emotional space necessary to grow without the constant intrusion of public opinion. In doing so, she has avoided many of the pitfalls that can come with fame, overexposure, burnout, and the loss of privacy that so often feels irreversible once surrendered. Her balancing act also reflects an awareness of her family's enduring legacy. She honors that history through her conduct, but refuses to let it dictate every aspect of her identity. By prioritizing authentic connections over performative ones, and private growth over public spectacle, Sasha has demonstrated that it is possible to remain both visible and protected in an era where the two are often seen as mutually exclusive. This ability to manage her image while safeguarding her private life has not only preserved her sense of self, but has also made her one of the most quietly intriguing figures of her generation, someone who commands attention without ever having to chase it. In 2025, Sasha Obama stands as a rare example of a young public figure who has managed to evolve from a childhood spent under the most intense spotlight imaginable into an adult life defined by balance, intention, and self-determination. Her journey from the stately halls of the White House to the vibrant yet demanding environment of Los Angeles has not been marked by scandal, oversharing, or the kind of missteps that often follow children of prominent families, but instead by a quiet, steady crafting of a life that feels authentically her own. Every choice she has made, from the home she lives in and the relationships she fosters, to the hobbies she pursues, the career paths she explores, and the way she treats her physical and mental health, reflects a consistent theme. Sasha values privacy, authenticity, and personal growth over public approval. Highlights: her ability to keep the public engaged while revealing only carefully chosen glimpses of her world is a skill in itself, one that shows both her media savvy and her understanding of the importance of protecting her inner life. She represents a model of modern young adulthood that resists the the pressures of constant visibility, choosing instead to cultivate a multi-dimensional identity that includes ambition, discipline, creativity, and an unshakable sense of self. For her generation, she serves as a subtle but powerful reminder that it is possible to honor one's roots while building a future that is entirely independent of them. And for the countless onlookers who remain curious about every move she makes, Sasha's story offers both inspiration and intrigue, a testament to the fact that the most compelling lives are often those lived just out of reach, where the mystery is part of the magic. As her path continues to unfold, one thing is certain: Sasha Obama is not simply living in the shadow of history. She is creating a chapter of her own, one marked not by noise and spectacle, but by quiet confidence, thoughtful choices, and a steady march toward a future she defines for herself.